good, between my brethren, kind and good. So I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow.
Oh yes, my Straight Talk family, it's been a long time since you've heard that theme song, but when you do, I know you are aware that it is time for me to bid you good night, my Straight Talk family, and because it's a special time of the year and time to bid you a very happy, healthy, and productive and prosperous new year. A very pleasant night, my Straight Talk family, and welcome to our first edition of Straight Talk for 2024, the year of our Lord 2024. And please to continue to share the link. And when you do, we get first timers. And just for the first timers, I welcome you. I bid you a happy and healthy new year and inform you in the process that Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On this program, you have a forum to express yourselves freely. However, let us in the process try to raise the level of national consciousness. Let us try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people and ourselves to our rights, responsibilities, and of course with them come obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liebert, and I give Almighty God thanks for blessing me with another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And it seems like a long time since we've had that sabbatical for Christmas and Carnival. Seems like I've been gone forever. I miss you. I miss you so much. But I must remind you that as your host, I continue to pledge to remain an untiring advocate of truthfulness. And I'm still reminded of the words of that popular hymn, which goes like this. And I always use it as a point of departure. The words are so instructive, which go like this, and I quote, "We are called to be God's prophets, speaking for the truth and right, standing firm for godly justice, bringing evil things to light. Let us seek the courage needed, our high calling to fulfill, that we all may know the blessing of the doing of God's will." So, my Straight Talk family, welcome again. And to reassure you that absolutely nothing will be watered down on your Straight Talk program, whether by omission, whether by exaggeration, to make it more interesting, as I always lean on the facts and not on emotion. Straight Talk is not about sensationalism or creating excitement, especially at the expense of accuracy, because I consider it my duty to always present the unvarnished truth, I call it, the plain truth, especially when it comes to governance here in St. Kitts and Nevis and throughout the Caribbean, and I dare say by extension throughout the world. I wish to say good night to St. Kitts and Nevis. I must say good night to the world, because we reach you on the World Wide Web. So we cover you in Africa, in Asia, in Europe, and all over North America. We find our Kittitian and Nevisian diaspora and our Caribbean diaspora as well, my Straight Talk family. And as we committed last year, we commit this year that through this program, we try to join together with people across our federation and in the diaspora, as I said, in the entire Caribbean, and as a matter of fact, all around the world. And some we know very well, and some we have met. Others we do not know, and many we will never meet. You know, some of us will agree with the positions of truth that are advanced on Straight Talk, and some will obviously disagree. And that's fine, that's okay, because we entertain, we encourage diverse views on this platform. But please, it would sadden me, my Straight Talk family, if we ever start to become disagreeable. So as we begin this new year, let us thank Almighty God for helping us to understand how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Let us therefore hope and pray for the day when we all sing His praise together. So welcome once again, my people, and thanks for those who share the link and bring first-timers. Please continue to do so. And my Straight Talk family, to the first-timers, I must also inform you that Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean we include your calls and your emails. If you're so minded, call in. The numbers are 663-6672. That's a local number. If you can access that number from overseas as well, but you must use the area code 869. Or there's an overseas line, US line 646-829-6672. You also can access the lines via WhatsApp. I know many people don't use that for reasons unknown to me. But there are those who like the cloak of anonymity, as I call it. So we give you access via our email platform, and the address is straighttalkpatches@gmail.com. That's one word, STRAIGTTALKPATCHES, straighttalkpatches@gmail.com. And a special welcome to my junior brigade, young Dwayne. I met Tristan in the supermarket with his mom during the Christmas season. I trust that Shama is doing well, back to school. And guess what? I saw Kevin Hanley of Nevis, and Kevin agreed to give me a picture, which I told him I'll post. Kevin told me he's doing well in school, and I'm so happy for that. And I also must hail Rudy Costa, over there in South Carolina, and to my special listening audience in South and North Carolina, and of course that special lady in St. Louis. How is the Queen, my Queen in Texas? I'm going to get in trouble here. How is all my people tonight, all over the world? And on a sad note, I learned just a few days ago of the passing of two Newtown stalwarts, I'll call them, the persons of Mrs. Agnes Crosley. Well, she was in fact the Bastia Public Market. She's been there almost all her life, Mrs. Crosley. I extend condolences to Frenny, Carol, and the entire family. I also learned of the passing of one Cardinal Smith. Understand he went to the great beyond on Saturday. Cardinal Smith was living in New York for many, many years. Remember his mother Murray on George Street, who sell that lovely fry fish for those who had the small days there growing up in Newtown. And the Cardinal has left behind motto. I understand motto is still going strong, and we extend our condolences as well to the entire family and all those who have lost loved ones. There's some I only get to hear about them long after they're gone, but in the event you have lost family, my Stray Dog family, I extend condolences to all of you. And just to remind you, as I do in all cases, that death is a process, and really only who feels it knows it, according to Jimmy Cliff. We normally have a thesis, a short dissertation, and I'll try to be as short as possible tonight, although we haven't dialogued for a long time. But I've titled my thesis for tonight, A Bumbling Attempt to Deliver a Message Without Hope. And we will discuss this thesis after my observations in review. Our observations in review are an integral part of our program, and after which I will move into my thesis. Then I will include your calls and your emails, as stated earlier, to allow your full participation. And our observations in review is a time when we highlight the current issues and we do some reflection. We may then ask a few questions, such as what was accomplished, how has it helped others, what has changed since, and what can be expected next, and what new we have learned as a people. In my first observation, I recall I went over to Nevis just before Christmas, albeit for a solemn reason, to wit, the Thanksgiving service of my dear cousin Julie Liebert, you know. On my way there, I missed the first trip with my good old friend and brother Aurethus Jones up the Sea Bridge and on the Sea Bridge. And Aurethus told me he was going to turn around and come back for the few of us that were left there. But I decided to take a sea taxi into Uli because time was of the essence. And strange but true, when I was on the sea taxi, there was the Sea Bridge coming down. But I believe I may have reached late for the funeral service, which should have started at 9:30. It started long after, though. But I was happy for the opportunity to witness firsthand the Sunday school benches at the terminal there for the sea taxis that Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge speaks so often about. Ironically, I saw this bald-headed man dressed in a black suit stare at me, which caught my attention because of his angry eyes, only to realize that it was Alexis Pepperseed Jeffers. And my only regret, though, is not being able to spend more time in Nevis with so many families and friends whom I had not seen in a long time. Andy, Myrna, Al, Juta, Lynette, Jean, Kenneth. And guess who I saw? Floris. I haven't seen Floris for years. Floris is looking so young and fresh. What you doing, I wonder. But as a Nevisian born in St. Kitts, I pray for the day when we all can just drive to and from Nevis on that bridge. But in the meanwhile, I also pray for the change in leadership, as Nevis cannot succeed with that snake called Mark Brantley. I served in the cabinet with him for 5 years. And in the early years, I respected him highly. I, however, came to find out that he was a devious son of a gun, as old people would say, and later learned of his insidious attempts at the personal destruction of my late cousin Vance Winkworth Amory. And Vance told me some things about Mark Brantley that I cannot repeat. Vance told me about the question, though, he asked you, Mark, to which you never responded. And the question, what will come first, Mark, the money or the motion? But Mark Brantley is such a snake, and the civil servants in Nevis must never forget his comments about their double salary. Remember when he said this?
My own view on this double salary story is that it is a bad idea. This notion of every Christmas government taking up millions of dollars in the context of Nevis is about 10 million. Every Christmas. For what? And I honestly say for what? Because a lot of people getting that money are not producing. And if it causes some upset, then I apologize for that upset, but it's a fact. Them who come late, take 2 hours for lunch, leave early, always sick, always home, always got problems, always out of the office, walk in the street, down in the bar, them in town drinking rum, and come Christmas, them hold a double salary just so.
But civil servants in Nevis, your counterparts in St. Kitts did not get a double. They got half a double. And you got nothing. So do not be fooled by his change of tone and message over the Christmas season. All of a sudden, he changed his tone and his message, my Street Talk family. And I'm saying to you, do not be fooled. Do not be fooled by this change of tone and message of this, as I call him, the snake, my Straight Dog family. Do not be fooled for one moment. He changed his tone and said this.
I must express profound appreciation to the employees and the volunteers who function under the umbrella of the Nevis Island Administration and who have given commendable service in the execution of their duties. Your efforts are truly valued, and your commitment to excellent service is building a better Nevis for generations to come.
My Straight Talk family, do not be fooled, divisions, as the snake in 2023 and before is the same snake in 2024, and he will only get worse. My second observation relates to the issue of Kittitian Hill, which was raised by former Prime Minister Denzel Douglas during the last budget debate in December 2023. And Straight Talk cannot allow his false statement to go unchallenged, as Douglas said this in the assembly.
There was a blueprint that was left in 2015 that, if it was followed, would have redounded to the benefit of all our citizens here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Instead, critical projects came to an end or were simply not pursued. A project like Kittition Hill in the Whitegate development area, simply because it was a gem, an iconic gem created by the Labour administration. And those in charge were determined not to allow it to shine.
And my Straight Talk family, the facts are that prior to the change of administration, Kittition Hill was doing so badly, my Straight Talk family. Really, really bad. And investors threatened to sue the government as construction of units bought under the CBI were not complete. My Straight Talk family, the hotel section of the development, the hotel section of that development, my Straight Talk family, which was open to business, had no money to even pay its workers. Would you believe, my Straight Talk family? The hotel section of the Kittition Hill development, I repeat, did not have money to pay their workers over there at Kittition Hill. This caused the Douglas administration back then to pump over $90 million of the SIDF money, the people's money, into Kittition Hill. And we must not forget this, my Straight Talk family. How can we forget this?
The government supports what the SIDF has been doing. The SIDF stepped in at a very critical juncture and stabilized it at a time when we were in severe turmoil. We believe that it was right to intervene in the Kittition Hill project, acquired 90% of the shareholding, and as a result of that, we supported it. Now that the Kittition Hill project has been stabilized, it is now working, now fashioned to be opened. The hotel is to be opened in December. We believe that the time has now come for the SIDF to step out of it, as it is doing, arranging to sell its shareholding in the Kittition Hill project and thus move on to other things.
So yes, the then Douglas administration arranged to sell its shares or its investment into the Kittition Hill project. So the government is continuous, and as such, the Team Unity administration continued the SIDF divestment in Kittition Hill after coming to office in 2015. And those are the facts. And do not be fooled by Denzel Douglas. My third observation, of course, we cannot move on without reflecting on Sugar Mass 52, our annual national carnival. And the celebrations ended on January 2nd, of course, with winners and losers. Major events included the Republic Bank's Miss St. Kitts Nevis Queen that was staged at Warner Park on December 19, 2023, and Straight Talk provides the winners as reported as follows.
Third runner-up, amassing a total of 617 points, representing Sadler Secondary School, is Victoria Elwa.
The second runner-up, amassing a total of 636 points, representing the Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College, Miss Diana Johnson.
In first runner-up, amassing a total of 658 points, representing the Eagles is Destiny Huggins.
Yes, Caitlin Wilson, a fourth form student at the Basti High School, lifting the trophy, and did likewise for the Caribbean Teen Pageant, I believe. The St. Kitts Nevis Queen Pageant as well brought with it the usual pomp and ceremony, also excitement. And these were the results of that pageant.
Our second runner-up in this year's St. Kitts and Nevis Queen Pageant, amassing a total of 845 points, St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank Azaria Vanterpool.
Amassing a total of 859 points. The first runner-up award goes to Miss TDC Limited, Gassan Maynard.
Now for the moment that we've all been waiting for, amassing a total of 916 points.
The new Miss St. Kitts and Nevis is Miss St. Kitts Music Festival.
And yes, my Straight Dog family, of course, there's no carnival without Kaiso. And these were the results of the Calypso Monarch competition.
Ladies and gentlemen, the second runner-up with 796 points, King Hollywood. And the second runner-up will receive the cash prize of $12,000 from the National Carnival Committee. In first runner-up position with mark of 805 is Kamal. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Sugar Mars 52 Caribbean SKN Limited Senior Calypso Monarch Competition with a total mark of 809. Put your hands together for your monarch, Queen Independent. And the winner is going on with $20,000.
And my Straight Talk family, I don't comment much on Kaiso in recent times. I actually was a staple in the commentary team until I was unceremoniously removed from a particular radio station's group. I don't even know if they still have commentary. But of note, my Straight Dog family, the most winningest Calypsonian in the competition did not find favor with the judges, who perhaps were telling him that it's time to move on. But King Socrates must hold his head high for producing two of the best calypsos on that final night and performing them very well. To King Socrates, I can only say that there comes a time in everyone's life when he or she must move on. But I know that is your call, the king. But say what you like about King Socrates, and I'm speaking from memory, which is quite uncharacteristic of me. But I vaguely recall that Socrates was first crowned monarch in the 80s. Thus, he would have had to perform 4 times as good to be crowned in the 20s under this Labour administration. I believe that he was last crowned in 2019. Calypso pundits would remember, I'm sure, the stir that was caused by Socrates way back then with his banjo solo. But he's always displayed class, style, his lyrical and musical content complemented by his usually well-attired stature, tall and well-dressed, always help him to remain as one of the top contenders for several decades. He has produced a highly successful record in many local and regional competitions and has won many Calypso crowns, surely in the double figures. So Socrates must be one of the most prolific songwriters, having penned great songs, not only for himself. Sometimes I wonder how he did this, but for other Calypsonians and entertainers who competed with him within and outside of the Federation. So on behalf of the Straight Dog family, I say, well done, good old faithful Calypsonian King Socrates. And this takes me to my fourth observation, which is the water situation in St. Kitts generally, and in particular in Keon and St. Peter's. But you know, where we live in Bird Rock, we lost our water Christmas Day. We lost our water, I think it was Boxing Evening, whatever nights it were. Very strange things happen. And much has been said about the glorious find of approximately 400,000 or 700,000 gallons per day at Cabbage Tree. And I've only heard that from the politicians, mark you. And we are happy to hear that residents in Keon and beyond are questioning the quality of the water apparently found. Pipes, you understand, are being installed to the wells, or the well. Straight Talk is told. Cannot confirm. But how do we know and how can we trust when the last well at Shadwell 2 is still not commissioned, and that well was drilled by Bede, the famous Bede, as the quality of water there was considered not fit for human consumption. The well is still capped, my Straight Dog family, after some 5 or 6 years. So I ask the question, who is going to satisfy the people in Keon and beyond whether the water that was apparently found is safe to drink? Yes, I trust the multipurpose laboratory, the multipurpose lab, but I do not trust Bede. I'm not going to hide to say that. I do not trust Bede for sure, as our water supply is a serious responsibility that requires an understanding of microbiology, chemistry, and engineering. But given the history of Bede with the inconclusive situation to date, with Shadwell 2, which I just alluded to, and its failure to act after 5 or 6 years, should make all of us wary about water quality in Keon produced by Bede. So in the name of transparency and full accountability, the country does not want to hear from Dr. Drew or the Soca engineer Conris about water and the quality of this supply apparently found in the well in Keon. We don't want to hear from them. We want to hear from the right people, not the politicians. But we will keep you posted on this matter, my Straight Talk family. And my fifth and final observation for tonight. And I say I found myself in a state of embarrassment just a few days ago, when a cruise passenger asked me about the whereabouts of the public bathrooms, and in the process pointed to a sign that was posted on the current bathrooms. And that sign was posted, my Straight Dog family. Recall, my Straight Dog family, that I made a public plea to the Minister of Tourism, Marsha Henderson, to repair the toilets and urinals. I made a public plea to Marshall to repair the toilets and the urinals prior to the start of the season. And I posted this on one of our programs. Now, this bathroom is situated just below the office of the minister. And that made me even more embarrassed as a Kittian to have to point out the porta potties. Don't tell me I don't have this to show you. We had, yes, to point out the porta potties, my straight dog family, that are on display there for tourists to use. My straight dog family, instead of fixing the bathrooms, Marsha Henderson chose to close them. He chose to close the bathrooms instead of fixing them. She must therefore have bought chemicals in order to minimize the odors, the scent or the smell, as we say, from the human excreta, the feces discharged in the holding tanks, my straight dog family. And our office is upstairs. And we hope the chemicals used to hinder the odor, the scent, the smell, causing bacteria from multiplying and keep the smell to a minimum. Madam Minister of Tourism, I am sure that we can do much better than that in the year 2024. Porta potty is nothing we should be displaying for our tourists and even our locals. The Pelican Mall tenants should not have to be exposed to that. And those are my observations in review for tonight, my straight dog family. And as I move right into my thesis that I have titled, for those who have just joined me, A Bungling Attempt to Deliver a Message Without Hope. And my straight dog family, hours before we turned our calendars to the brand new year of 2024, and citizens awaited the traditional message from our Prime Minister, he posted the following notice signed by his press secretary on his Facebook page, my straight dog family. He posted that message, and he in fact indicated that he was unable to deliver the message because of contracting the flu. Those are my words. And he promised with his, he promised to provide a text message or a text copy of his message for the people. And we found, and many found that out of order and disrespectful. The content of the Facebook message, which I just posted, caused a great concern, a great outcry from the entire country, my straight dog family, and forced the Prime Minister to nominate his deputy, Jeffrey Hanley, the slow student as we know him. He nominated the slow student to deliver his address. Jeffrey's delivery was pathetic, punctuated with poor grammar, and the address was laced with omissions and lies. And Dr. Drew missed a golden opportunity, my Straight Dog family. He missed a golden opportunity, I would admit, to be true to our anthem and to try to bind us together, my Straight Dog family. He missed a wonderful opportunity to bind us together as a nation, moving together and to chart a common destiny, my Straight Dog family. He missed this opportunity. That's a wonderful opportunity he missed. But the Prime Minister in the last 17 months has been described in many ways. Some say he's incompetent. Others say he's arrogant. And many say he is self-centered, my Straight Dog family. Dr. Drew, for example, is so self-absorbed and cares nothing about his colleagues, and distributed this gift, my Straight Dog family, to those attending the gala at the Frigate Bay Dome last Saturday night, which someone described as a hot mess, literally and figuratively. Did he really give this as a gift? Was the question asked. Why not a cup with a picture of his so-called A-team? The response from another person was, your Prime Minister wants us to always think of him when we sip our coffee and cock our feet, or as we say, cock with foot. But as we think about sipping our coffee, cocking our feet, and Dr. Drew's bungling attempt not to physically deliver the traditional Prime Minister's New Year's message or address, a friend of mine aptly characterized him as being lazy. He owes the country an apology for not delivering the traditional New Year's address for 2024, citing some apparent illness. Having bungled his duty, he then sent his deputy, who obliged in the circumstances. And my Straight Dog family, the slow student seemed overexcited and overwhelmed, my Straight Dog family. The slow student was overexcited and overwhelmed, my Straight Dog family.
My fellow citizens and residents, Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terence Drew is currently battling the flu virus and is unable to deliver the New Year's address live. However, as Deputy Prime Minister, I am pleased to fill in. We wish Prime Minister Drew a full and speedy recovery.
My Straight Dog family, there were several omissions and many issues that were raised that needed clarification. Sadly though, Jeffrey Hanley, speaking on behalf of Dr. Drew, started the new year with an old lie like this one.
As we embrace the dawn of a new year, I extend my heartfelt New Year's greetings to you and every one of you. The year 2024 beckons with the promise of a fresh start, we initiated a comprehensive overhaul of our healthcare system, marking a significant transformation by introducing 50 new dialysis machines.
My Shredok family, the year 2024, he stated, beckons with the promise of a fresh start. But how could this be when Terence Michael Drew was caught lying before about these dialysis machines? Yet he continues to repeat the lie. Remember, he was caught by this reporter.
Mr. Prime Minister, some weeks ago, the Denver Hospital received some dialysis machines. And then there has been some talk in the community that there's something wrong with these machines, that parts are missing and...
Community of fake pages.
Whatever you want to call it. Could you address that particular issue? What is the state of these machines?
So these machines were donated from a major hospital in Canada through one of our experts, one of our nationals who live there in the diaspora, Mr. Estrid. And so these machines were donated to us. When we got these machines, it was in the winter. And because it was in the winter, you couldn't ship them because whatever substances they have in their structure, in cold, would freeze it. And so we took the decision to store them in a warm storage area. That is why they didn't come earlier. Once spring came, the temperature went back up. That is when we decided to ship them to St. Kitts and Nevis. The vast majority of them are in condition.
My Shredok family, if the vast majority were in condition, as he said, were good, that does not render them new. It simply means that the largest portion was apparently good and a small portion was not good. They were bad. There was absolutely no need to continue to perpetuate this lie about the installation of 15 brand new dialysis machines at the JN France General Hospital in 2024. And every time I hear these lies coming from the mouth of this cabal of experts, or this A-team as they call themselves, I'm reminded of my late grandmother, Eunice Liburd, who always implored us not to lie. As she put it, wherever you find a liar, you find a thief. And although the slow student spoke for almost half an hour, 24 minutes to be exact, many important issues that will affect us as a country in 2024 were overlooked. The start of a new year must serve as a symbol of new beginnings and hope for the future. Say what you may about Napoleon Bonaparte. There is a famous quotation from him which states that a leader is a dealer in hope. Many interpret that to mean that the leader's role is to inspire and motivate others to believe that the future will be better. Leaders are responsible for providing a vision and direction that stimulates optimism and confidence in the people they lead. Not one strategy was outlined to deal with our failing economy, the housing crisis, corruption, crime, inflation, and the rising cost of living. The Prime Minister provided no hope whatsoever to the plethora of business owners, and many small business owners in particular have had a terrible year in 2023. One owner said to me that it was the worst in his 21 years of trading in St. Kitts Nevis. When we look back at 2023, it therefore gives us no hope. And at the start of 2024, there is no success to celebrate. There is not a single success that Dr. Drew can point to in 2023. In 2015, lest we forget, Team Unity inherited a country with an aged and aging infrastructure that was at crisis level, all at crisis level. Our roads were in total disrepair. How can we forget that famous Slim Edwards calypso, Pothole Dodging? How can we forget Old Road Bay? That was an ever-present danger to commuters who use that section of the road or that section of the road network on a daily basis. One of my fellow constituents from Newtown, young Molly, died across Old Road Bay because a rock fell onto a vehicle in which he was traveling. Look at Old Road Bay today. Your team, Unity Government, ensured in its first term that not another soul will perish across Old Road Bay ever again because of rockfall. Our airport, my straight dog family, was in a state of disrepair and posed a threat to the safety of aircraft operating into and out of the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport, my straight dog family. This is the letter we got from the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority. I trust you can read it, my straight dog family. The airport was not or was in a state of disrepair, to summarize the content, my straight dog family. And the conditions were placed on Scottsburg to repair that airport, our runway, my straight dog family. And what we did we do as a government? Should we have closed the airport and blamed the Labour Party? Hell no. We spent $44 million, $616,054 to be exact, or $45 million to deal with the gross neglect of the Labour Party, my straight dog family. In the area of electricity, a matter of fact, there was some ribbon cutting about some apron. Plans were afoot to repair the eastern portion of the apron, and not in asphalt, in concrete, my straight dog family. $30 million were already negotiated to do that. And my straight dog family, what should we have cut a ribbon to open the runway which we resurface? Should we have cut a ribbon when we put on the brand new solar lighting on the runway? Should we have cut a ribbon for Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, the 3 taxiways? No. We worked by night and ensured the airport was operational by day. And my straight dog family, in the area of electricity generation, though we inherited all generators left by the Labour Party, 2 of them were purchased in 1995. But we took a deliberate decision to invest in renewable energy instead of procuring new fossil fuel generators. And in this regard, my straight dog family, we broke ground. We broke ground for a 36 megawatt solar plant, the largest in the entire Caribbean region. And what? Government change, my straight dog family. And instead of continuing the project, Soca engineer Conris, an incompetent Jew, has frustrated that project for the past 17 months. For what, I don't know. But they must start it one day, and start it soon. And they would try to claim all sorts of nonsense, while the poor people of St. Kitts continue to suffer because of their high electricity bills. And this is what is happening with an incompetent bunch of politicians who have won the government by default. There was no serious mention made of the economy, which is predicted to get worse. Renowned international economists have opined, my Stray Dog family, that the world is on fire. The Israel war against Hamas in Gaza, the ripple effects of the Russian war in Ukraine continue to change the world. It is almost 2 years since the Russian invasion of Ukraine that sparked the largest conflict in Europe since World War II, and the repercussions continue to reverberate around the world. The ongoing war in Ukraine has not only ignited a geopolitical realignment, but it has created much economic hardship far from the epicenter of the fighting. It has impacted food. Global grain prices have gone to record heights, my Stray Dog family. Energy. The war unleashed the world's worst global energy crisis since the 1970s. Energy prices soared all over the world as nations reduce or cut off their purchases of Russian fossil fuels. The war in Ukraine has severely impacted transport and trade. Global supply chains still experience serious disruptions. The Israel-Hamas and Russian-Ukraine wars, along with the European Union apprehension, uneasiness with our CBI program, will negatively impact our once booming trade in passports. That's the prediction. Our policy with respect to the CBI has not changed, however, because although it was spoken about putting our eggs in one basket, Joe has done the same and worse, as he obviously lacks vision and foresight, my Stray Dog family. He lacks vision and foresight, my Stray Dog family. The actuals for 2022 from the CBI, non-tax revenue, as you can see, I trust that slide is clear enough for you to read on your screens. But the actuals for 2022 from the CBI was $669,358,624. Approved 2023 estimates, as you can glean, equals $518,315,789. And in 2024, $540 million, which is 52% of total revenue, projected of $1,052,861,607. My Stray Dog family, for 2024, it is also predicted that inflation will go down in St. Kitts. But everyone is concerned about the cost of living, which keeps going up and up. Inflation is down, it is said, but prices have remained up. Just examine the Consumer Price Index that measures the monthly and, in some countries, the annual change in prices paid by consumers, my Stray Dog family. And the CBI is an economic indicator most widely used to measure inflation, and it is also an indicator of the effectiveness of government fiscal and monetary policy. For the students who have joined us, my Stray Dog family, it's a simple formula. You can see the annual CPI, Consumer Price Index, is the value of the basket of goods in the prior year divided by the value of the basket of goods in the current year. And the inflation rate is the new CPI minus the prior CPI divided by the prior CPI multiplied by 100 to get the percentage, my Stray Dog family. And my Straight Talk family, the ECCB Economic and Financial Review of St. Kitts Nevis provides a good snapshot. And according to the ECCB, my Straight Talk family, the Consumer Price Index, and it reads the general price level increase in the first 6 months of 2023. More specifically, the Consumer Price Index rose by 3.1% at the end of the period, compared with the 3.1% increase recorded 1 year earlier. The inflationary pressures mainly reflected increases in the price of food and non-alcoholic beverages, my Straight Talk family. Recreation and culture, hotels and restaurants, the figures, percentages are listed here. Clothing and footwear, and household furnishings, supplies, and maintenance rose by 6.4%, according to the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. But let us go past the academics and just talk to the poor people on the ground. They will tell you that Dr. Jew has failed to cut the cost of living. They will tell you about the high cost of rent. They will tell you that they know nothing about medical insurance. They will tell you about the food prices that remain high and unaffordable in the supermarket. What people are seeing at the grocery stores or the supermarket is testimony to the state of the economy in St. Kitts and Nevis. People are crying out, my Straight Talk family, like the lady who cried out to the Prime Minister about the cost of sardines. Remember, my Straight Talk family, the cost is still high. Here's what this single mother cried out and said.
It's getting tougher and tougher and tougher. Imagine a little tin of sardines for $5. It's ridiculous, Mr. Prime Minister, and we really need a help, but we do have a rough time.
A rough time. And Dr. Jew had no answer for this poor lady. This was his answer.
When the sardine goes up at the manufacturer's end, we have to import that. We don't make sardine here, we import the sardine. If you have increase in food internationally, it will be reflected here. We can't control so much how much a sardine is bought for in America. And we can cut out all the taxes that we want. It can still come in at a cost, and the trader has to make a profit. They have to ship it.
Who would have expected that a leader, a prime minister, and a minister of finance would say this to a single mother in financial difficulty? Our prime minister is definitely not fit for the office that he holds. He lacks competence, knowledge, and above all, he lacks statesmanship. Poor people cry out about the high cost of carnation milk. And the response of Dr. Jew was even more pathetic, sickening, my Straight Talk family, when he said this.
However, I want to say to our people that we have alternatives. For example, and I would like to point out that a box of Kellogg's, same size, I think it's 21 grams, same size, costs about $21 plus. If you get the Sunshine brand, is half of that. It's about $11. So for every product that we are accustomed to, we have an alternative. I can't tell Kellogg's how much to sell this stuff for. And you know, we have sought to decrease freight taxes and so forth in an effort to drop the prices. But if we take away everything, the government will make no money at all. Remember, the carnation milk, wherever it is produced, costs more. So no matter how you import it, you are going to be paying more for carnation milk, for example, because that's an imported item and you're importing the inflation. However, if you choose another brand, for example, Bonnie, or any other brand, it is significantly cheaper.
Out of order, my Straight Talk family. Imagine that. It is okay that Dr. Jew, who the same poor people voted for, it is okay for Dr. Jew to flaunt on his Facebook page that he met this accused murderer in Saudi Arabia, had dinner with him and drank camel milk. Yes, he flaunted this on his Facebook page. But, my Straight Dog family, it is the pervasive corruption that has always been identified as one of the greatest problems of St. Kitts and Nevis. Stagnating growth and development. Many had predicted that if corruption was not tackled in St. Kitts and Nevis, the Malays would kill the country. Former permanent secretary in the Ministry of Finance in the Nevis Island administration long ago pointed to procurement, my Straight Dog family, as a source or an area, I should say, of corruption. Laurie Lawrence said this about 11 years ago.
Procurement is another area, and from my own experience, I suspect that is an area of corruption. And we need to address it. We need for more transparent procurement processes and international bidding practices. And we need to establish appropriate protest and complaint mechanism.
My Straight Talk family, this has made successive governments pledge to tackle and eradicate the menace when they assume power, only for them to completely fail. Examine, for example, the former Prime Minister Douglas, who rose to power in 1995 on the promises to save the ailing sugar economy, secure St. Kitts and Nevis, and fight corruption. Time proved him wrong, especially in all the focus areas of his administration. Even his claim in 2014 that St. Kitts Nevis was better off then or than when he met it in 1995 can never, ever be justified. The year 2015 ushered in a sense and spirit of actual political togetherness never seen in this country since adult suffrage in 1952. But as of August the 6th, 2022, however, the country has witnessed an erosion of the principles of democracy on which our nation was built. What is sad, though, is the futile attempt by some to delete the most productive years in the Federation's history, being 2015 to 2022. I say futile, my Straight Talk family, because nothing can change the fact that the Team Unity administration was the best thing to happen to St. Kitts and Nevis. Not even this photo op with these three prime ministers can change that fact, my Straight Dog family. How could anyone within the ECCB host a meeting and fail to invite the most successful prime minister and astute minister of finance who ever served this OECS institution? For Kennedy Simmons, he ought to be eternally grateful to Timothy Harris, who picked him out of the political dustbin, dusted him off, and made him the fourth national hero. My Straight Dog family, I say it is saddening. But that's the mood in St. Kitts Nevis going into 2024. It is sad, my Straight Dog family.
It's a very sad time in the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis with all that has been going on. And I pray that we see a better day at the beginning of 2024.
My Straight Dog family, we can only pray that God answers this woman's prayer. Corruption in St. Kitts Nevis is at its worst in just 17 months of this Jew Labour administration. One of the greatest disappointments in the eyes of many persons here in St. Kitts Nevis is the current Attorney General and Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs, Garth Lucian Wilkin, who, according to High Court Justice Tamara Gill, committed a criminal offense. Others are not surprised because, after all, Garth Lucian Wilkin joined a leader in the present cabinet whom he criticized and publicly showed his distrust in him. We remember this, my Straight Dog family. We do.
How can people be confident that a government led by an individual who actually said, we need to stop the corruption, we need to stop the bleeding, we need to have integrity in public life. And that was one of the reasons why a younger Dr. Douglas was elected. 20 years later, the Integrity in Public Life Act is passed, not activated. 20 years is a long time. How can you convince people? How can you convince people that Dr. Douglas will change his ideas?
How can you convince? How has he convinced Garth Lucian Wilkin that this current leader and senior minister serving the same cabinet with Garth Lucian Wilkin, who dare not send his file to the Director of Public Prosecutions for not filing his assets and liabilities in compliance with the Integrity in Public Life Act? He dare not, my Straight Dog family.
I made mention before about the bolstering of the anti-corruption laws, and which creates the obligation for public servants to file their declarations of assets, income, and liabilities. We have some challenges there. We expected more persons to have filed by now, and we have written to the defaulting persons, and the result has been minimal. It is not good. We take no pleasure in sending your names to the Director of Public Prosecutions. You have heard him. He is very serious, and he will be harassing us to send those names. Parliamentarians, most of them with the exception of two, they have filed.
And who are the two parliamentarians? But Garth Lucian Wilkin cannot hand the names over to the Director of Public Prosecutions, Adley Smith, I think his name is, who is waiting patiently, according to him.
Your DPP stands ready. As soon as you hand over those names, I've already drafted the charges. I've already drafted it. It's just a matter of putting in your name and signing it, and the different dates, and so on, and a charge is laid. I've already laid down the gauntlet. It's either you do what you're required to do, or you suffer the inconvenience of having to pay lawyer, inconvenience of going to court, etc. The choice is yours.
A bit cocky, my Straight Dog family. But I submit, or that is why I submit, that the breaking of the law by Attorney General Garth Lucian Wilkin still calls into doubt his ability and moral authority to discharge his duties impartially. Garth Lucian Wilkin lacks integrity. In other jurisdictions in the Caribbean and elsewhere, Garth Lucian Wilkin would have had to do the honorable thing and resign from public office. Garth Lucian Wilkin said, it is a crime or it is criminal to spend money without the procurement process. He said that, my Straight Dog family, not me. Garth Lucian Wilkin said this, my Straight Dog family.
Our Procurement Act requires that there be a competitive bidding process to ensure the government gets value for money, and it makes it a crime to spend money from the Treasury without the procurement process being completed.
Only talk, because what can be described as an arm of the Public Works Department was established very, very early in the Prime Minister's office. A young lady, Ashmain Allers, was appointed as project officer or project manager. And Dr. Jew launched his plan to rape the treasury of millions of dollars. It all started in the Prime Minister's office with the construction of the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw Museum, my Straight Dog family. That's where it started.
Currently it's under construction, and we're hoping, really pushing to see if we can complete it by September 16th. I know that's a lofty goal, but we are really pushing. If not, definitely we want to complete it by this year. We expect it to cost in the region of maybe about $4 million. Construction is going on, and to about maybe $4 million grand total at the end of the day.
There was no procurement according to law. No permission sought from the Development Control and Planning Board. And what was to be about $4 million, according to Dr. Jew, ballooned to $8 million and more, we understand. He has never denied it, my Straight Dog family. There he goes. He visits the site. The Prime Minister or the Prime Minister's office engage Victor Williams, a former chairman of the director of the Development Control and Planning Board, to manage the project. It's there. Other comrades like Lennox Warner and Peter Jenkins were also invited to treat my Straight Dog family. That's what it seems. If that was not bad enough, Dr. Jew then engaged another comrade, Cashley Allers, and handed him a $5.8 million contract, my Straight Dog family. He literally handed Cashley Allers a $5.8 million contract, my Straight Dog family. He said so.
We have sent the fire truck, we have sent the water truck. We continue to send the fire truck, we continue to send the water truck. We have signed a contract to purchase water storage tanks. So at least when the water truck goes, they have a larger receptacle to store the water. I would also like to thank Mr. Ashley Allers, because he's the one who brought the idea of how we can help with the storage receptacles that we're going to launch.
This $5.8 million contract was to provide 1,000 water tanks, or water buckets, as my friend would refer to them, my Straight Dog family. Even though Cashley Allers said this.
You're getting a tank, you're getting a pump, you're getting housing for the pump. You're casting the platform with concrete to rest it the tank on. The fittings you come with a smart head. You're talking about almost $12,000 value.
And my Straight Dog family, Cashley Allers had the temerity. The man was so bold to publicly say this should cost about $12,000. Imagine that. But several months have passed, but there are no pumps, no fitting with a smart head, no platform cast to rest the buckets on, my Straight Dog family. This is what is happening as we speak. Buckets thrown into yards, leaned up against a house or houses. But even worse, my Straight Dog family, even worse than that, my Straight Dog family, there are water buckets still not delivered after several months, according to this report from Dr. Joe.
As an interim measure, the government introduced a new water storage tank project to ease the suffering of residents by improving access to water by affected households. Under the project, we have already distributed over 250 tanks primarily to vulnerable residents in Upper Keon, Whites Village, Sarabori, Cabitry, and Spooners Village. These areas are known to be the most severely impacted by water scarcity and have felt the brunt of the water shortage impact over the years, Madam Speaker. Water shortage tanks were also distributed to the residents of St. Peter's, who suffer a similar plight. A total of 314 water storage tanks were supplied to households throughout the Upper Monkey Hill, the Glen, Paris Village, Fountain, and Stapleton, bringing the total distribution under the water project to about 500 or more.
And my Straight Talk family, so bad it was for some parts of St. Peter's. The representative posted this message on his Facebook page on Christmas Day. My Straight Talk family, on Christmas Day. This was his message to the residents of St. Peter's, my Straight Talk family. Then lo and behold, some buckets showed up in the yard of Cashley Allers. And Straight Talk could not verify whether these are the remaining 500 buckets in the yard, or even whether this is still the business location of Cashley Allers, my Straight Talk family. But these buckets showed up in the yard. They showed up at Courtesy Garage, my Straight Talk family. These buckets showed up all of a sudden. Meanwhile, remember that Dr. Drew, very early in his term, moved into the gated community at Beacon Heights, leaving his people in St. Peter's to suffer. And after giving one man, Cashley Allers, $5.8 million, Dr. Drew now has the gall to talk about sharing $5.4 million, my Straight Talk family. Had the gall to say this.
Other thing I wanted to clear up is that the member from number 5 again came in and talked about procurement and so forth. There's a company called SKN Metals. It's owned, and without calling the owner for it, I'll leave it here for now, but just to say that I have this file. There's a lot of files I have. And that is why, sometimes you should know when to just be quiet. Yes. We see here that a company got $5.4 million from Skellig. One company. And no procurement. Okay, let's say, Lord, when you look at all of these, you say, Lord, somebody else couldn't get something? Okay, give this person some, but give somebody else some, no? Share the thing a little bit. And I have this file. Madam Deputy Speaker, this was under the leadership of the member from number 5. Also UDC, Madam Deputy Speaker, the hot. I don't know. I would say to the member from number 5, ignore the member from number 7. When you want to come in here and act like that, why? A gentleman who has disrespected you, call you the worst names in the world. We have all of these documents, and you come in here grandstanding. And know when you got the blade. Now, when I was in Monkey growing up small, a man used to say, man, know when you got the handle, and know when you got the blade. So when you got the blade, take it easy, because things might turn.
And my Straight Talk family, it has not, if that is accurate, nothing to do if it was done before. If it was wrong, it was wrong. So Drew now coming and spending money from the treasury without procurement is a crime, according to his disgraced Attorney General. But we may ask, why didn't Drew share the $5.8 million with TDC, with ODB, and business people like Mr. Carr? All of these people or companies have been importing water tanks for ages. But it is not about sharing the public money, Dr. Drew. It is about conforming with the procurement and administration legislation to ensure that the government gets the best value for the people's money. How can we restore trust and integrity in a government that has a chief legal advisor and minister of justice and legal affairs who broke the law and has shown no remorse or no remorse. Instead, Garth Lucian Wilkin continues to try to suppress freedom of expression in our country. Good governance and transparency under this Jew administration is like a big joke. All they do is play acting and spinning top in mud. Yes, nothing but spinning top in the mud of corruption. And finally, my Shetok family, ask ourselves, how can we restore trust and integrity in a country that uses the face of Douglas to reconnect? How can we? We ask this question.
Our main promotion hub, the St. Kitts Investment Promotion Agency, has used up considerable efforts and money to consolidate the promotion work that I have been doing as a minister across the globe. There's no area of the globe I have not touched over the last few months, because I am determined that the world must know that St. Kitts and Nevis has a new face, using the face of Douglas to reconnect with those who we have not seen for the last 7-8 years.
Is this the same Douglas that caused us to lose our visa-free waiver status with Canada? How can we forget this? Is Douglas a new face, my Stray Dog family?
During its meeting on Monday, the 7th of January 2013, ministers, having duly considered the content of a memorandum dated January 4th, 2013, approved the appointment of Mr. Ali Zia Mohadam, a national of Iran, who had formerly acquired, following successfully completion of all the necessary due diligence, citizenship of St. Kitts and Nevis through the investment program. Mr. Mohadam was issued with a diplomatic passport.
My Shizok family, isn't this the same Douglas, the new face, according to him, who tried to hide the nationality of citizens issued passports under our CBI program, according to his then press secretary?
I must make reference to remarks made quite recently by Dr. Ken Ballantyne during the recent meeting with Prime Minister Douglas and the service providers of the St. Kitts and Nevis Citizenship by Investment Program. And I recall Dr. Ballantyne reminding Prime Minister Douglas and the stakeholders, service providers at that meeting, that the place of birth from our St. Kitts and Nevis passport was removed at the request of the United States authorities. And I think that is a very important statement which he reminded the Prime Minister of.
Oops. Of course. Then Press Secretary Erasmus Williams was forced to retract that lie with immediate effect. And he did.
A few months ago, I had reason to speak with persons within the Ministry of National Security, and I am informed that the process is being reintroduced very shortly. I'm advised that the company, the Canadian banknote, CBN, is in the process of rewriting the program, which should be implemented very shortly.
My Shetok family, wasn't Denzel Douglas the face of the country when the U.S. Treasury Department issued this FinCEN advisory? Do we forget this, my Shetok family? So what is new about the face of Denzel Llewellyn Douglas? We are heading, my people. It appears, as I said, we are spinning atop in the mud of corruption. Terence Michael Drew is worse than Douglas. He's like Christopher Columbus, my straight dog family. Christopher Columbus.
Christopher Columbus is on the plastic lion. Christopher Columbus is on the plastic lion. And yes, Jack, he's a liar.
I say like Burning Spear. Terence Michael Drew is a damn blasted liar. I'm quoting here Burning Spear, my straight dog family. But as I conclude, Drew don't want anybody to talk about the thieving going on in housing. The largest housing project guaranteed by the government for $650 million. The so-called engineer Conris lied to the parliament when he said that the government signed no contract. And the speaker allowed this, my straight dog family.
I recognize the honourable member for St. Christopher 3.
The member for number 7 needs to correct the record. There has not been a public contract awarded to any housing developer. Needs to correct the record. It is not a public contract.
Madam Speaker, the contract is between NHC. NHC is 100% owned by the government. NHC has the full backing of the government, and it is the government that has supported the project by providing all the necessary concessions for the project to go.
So true. And the slow student Jeffrey Hanley exposed the big lie from Congress.
Today, as the minister responsible for housing and human settlement, I am pleased to formally announce that the government of St. Kitts and Nevis and National Housing Corporation NHC has signed a contract with East Coast Housing Development, a Trinidadian-based developer, to finance and deliver 2,400 affordable smart homes over a period of 4 years, 600 of which will be made available each year.
1 year later, and not one of the 600 homes have been built in 2023. The disgraced Attorney General Garth Lucien Wilkin also exposed the Congress lie, my straight dog family. Garth Wilkin had this to say about the contract and ending the contract.
2 model homes will be built that the contract contemplates. During the construction of those model homes, the local contractors will get to learn the modern technique, the special technique that is being used for these reinforced concrete slab homes. If the government is not satisfied with the homes or the construction, whether they could withstand serious hurricanes and earthquakes and so forth, which the government has experts who can verify that, and whether NHC is not satisfied with the homes, then the contract comes to an end.
The contract. So what was the so-called engineer talking about? And this is what's happening in the Prime Minister's office and the wider Jew administration. There are programs used to thief the public money. How could the Jew administration embark upon the construction of 2,400 houses without inviting requests for proposals, RFPs, no tender? This is what Dr. Drew himself called systemic corruption. And it's a program used to thief money, my straight dog family.
Systemic corruption, deep. And you have people talking about programs, when programs are used to thief money.
Yes, systemic corruption. And finally, my Straight Talk family, there was no mention whatsoever about public safety, which continues to be of great concern to every citizen and resident in St. Kitts and Nevis. Murders skyrocketed from 10 in August 2022, when Dr. Drew took office, to a whopping 39 murders as of December 2023. 31 in 2023 to be exact. People are running scared daily. Just today, Model Cop reported a shooting in the McKnight area, my Straight Talk family. Just today, at noon, my Straight Talk family. And I presented a simple and clear thesis. But there's an institutional void in St. Kitts Nevis that must be filled by a new player or players sooner rather than later. I have not even touched our healthcare system, which is in decay. In 2023, a young doctor who is more labor than Dr. Drew told us this about the people dying at the JN France General Hospital, my Straight Talk family. This doctor came from the bowels of labor, but was prepared to speak the truth. And that is what Straight Talk is all about. And truth be asked, why was there a bungling attempt to deliver a message without hope? There's no hope for us as a country and as a people who just want to live in peace, love, and harmony. And that's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family. And I am not going to change it. I tarried for a long time because I have not dialogued with you for several weeks. But I have some time, my Straight Talk family, and I will open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails. You can extend your New Year's greetings as well and raise any issue in terms of what was brought forward tonight on Straight Talk, my family. The numbers are 663 6672 and 646-829-6672. Our email address, as I said before, is straighttalkpatches@gmail.com. If you're so minded, I'll give you a few moments after 10 o'clock to compensate for the time I deprived you of myself, my Straight Talk family. But I will always implore you to respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let's just try to be fair to all concerned, and let's, my Straight Talk family, in the things we say and do, ensure that it is beneficial, or they are beneficial to all concerned. And in the process of saying and or doing those things, let's just strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. Let's go to the lines at 20 before the 10 o'clock hour and say good night to our first caller. Happy New Year, caller. Hello, caller.
Yes, sir, and I hope you will continue to bring a strong and truthful message to 2024. And this is Carl Brown. Right? Well, how come have you any information that catch the alert and thanks?
Yeah.
I have received some information a day or two ago that I'm bringing a set of thanks. Have you any information on that?
Yes, well, I posted that information earlier.
Yes, I was not listening earlier. I was assisting a neighbor right here in that and assistance that needs.
Yes, if you look at, I'm sorry to interrupt you. If you look at the screen, you can see.
Yes, I see it now. I see it now.
Yes, we did post that earlier. Yes, so we are following.
But Mr. Axis, you want
I'm afraid you're breaking up, Carl. I don't know. Can you hear me, Carl? Can you hear me, Carl? Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you now.
Yeah, for some reason you are breaking up. I don't know if it's the area you're calling from.
And many people.
Seem to be having a problem with that call from Carl Brown. And we do apologize for that, my Straight Dog family. I don't know if, Carl, you're in your stronghold or your foxhole, if you do have one, but something is definitely wrong with the quality of your call. And I'm afraid it has dropped out. Carl Brown, I trust you can call me back if you do have. Are you there, Carlo?
Yes, sir. You're hearing me loud.
Yes, that's a little better, yes.
To come outside, and we are calling on flow. So we have been having this problem here up in Shadwell. We're making a straight call, and in less than a minute or 3 minutes, people are not hearing us, even on WhatsApp. Right? So we are calling on flow because we know the people are listening. Please to come up to Shadwell to remedy this problem here. Because many of our neighbors and tenants up here are having this problem here. Right? We have to be going out in the road. We have to live in our bedrooms and our front room and going out in the road to get proper connection, to call people, to call talk shows and all these kind of things. And people are telling us they're not hearing us. So please, Flo, please to come to Shadwell and remedy this problem here.
Okay.
And our internet, we normally get a proper internet and a proper Wi-Fi from Flo. Now, Mr. Albert, what I am saying to you is that Castellanos told us last year on Freedom Radio Talk Show that they will be providing the platform, they will be providing the pump, and they will be providing the necessary connection to these tanks.
Yes,
you're hearing me right?
Yes, he did.
Yes, but up to now, these people have not gotten all of these connections that Mr. Cashley Allard has promised on Freedom Radio last year.
True.
Right? And not only that, the village where the minister, right? The undefeated king in Calypso, right? Is the minister. People are complaining and sending out voice notes, sending out all kind of things on social media, saying that 7:30, 7:40, and so every night water gone in the village, in his constituency as the minister of water. So how come number 3 is not getting any tanks and getting any solution to their water problem? And the minister live in number 3.
Good question.
So that's another question we are asking the minister, Conway Maynard. And I am sure Connis Maynard is not suffering the same fate as all his constituents in number 3, because I would assure that the water department and he would have made sure that he have proper tank and proper water services to he and his wife and his family and his children. The other thing, the Labour, is this, right? The situation in number 8, that water wounds, let me call it wounds, continue, because we see the many cries, and the cry is coming from, the most of the cries is coming from serious Labour voters in constituency number 8 is telling you up to Christmas Day and Jubilee morning, they was complaining that they didn't have no water.
Well, it's all over. It's all over. Even in my area, I stepped into my shower for to go to the old years night or the watch night service as we call it, and lo and behold, my water.
Even the Canary, yes. another constituents of constituency number 8 is telling you if they don't get home about 6 or between 6 and 8:30 at night, they cannot take a bath, they cannot get no water to drink or anything like that. They will have to pick up water at some Chinese at the Chinese supermarket, or they will have to run up to St. Peter's, way up to St. Peter's to catch water so they can have some water.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Cal, but we'll see what happens for the new year.
The last thing, so before I go, right, is this. We have to do a post-mortem on the past carnival, because it was horrible, terrible, and disastrous. Really disastrous, Mr. Labour. Now, they're advertising all year, from January right down to late November. People must come to sink it for carnival. We're going to have it great. It's going to be splendorous. You're going to enjoy it. And they put out all this sweet, sugary thing about the carnival. I tell you, Mr. Laibot, we had thousands of people here. We had thousands of returning nationals. We had first-time visitors, second and third-time visitors. But Mr. Laibot, here what's happening? When the people get here now, full up all the hotels, the guest houses, rented houses from people, apartments and all kind of things from all kind of different people. Right? We're glad for the people and the hotels and the guest houses to make the money. Right? In the day, the people have no place to go. Carnival have nothing happening for them. People have to wait till after 8 and minutes to 10 in the night to get somewhere something happening for them. Lord, don't talk about the little Matchbox children carnival they had. It was so embarrassing. It was so shameful.
Okay.
Don't talk about that empty in for Calypso finals because they don't want to give Short Pants and make Short Pants get the money. Right? Because Short Pants is a scam. Right, and we have seen it for the last 2 years under this Labour government that the politics and corruption, right, don't want to make, and Sharp and don't bring another 200-300 people in the stadium. They don't want to make the money.
Okay, my brother. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Okay, my brother. Thanks a lot, and I'm sure that everyone would agree about a post-mortem for carnival or on carnival, I should say, and in the meantime, I will try to get juggled with my messages quickly. This one reads: I want to say to the host, Devon Douglas or Devon Cornelius, beg your pardon, of ZIZ, my Street Dog family. This email reads: as well as his program On the Edge. You were very disrespectful, rude, discourteous, and insulting to Mrs. Henry this morning. Mrs. Henry is one of the Federation's premier educators, especially on radio calling programs. And countless listeners look forward and gravitate to her knowledge, experience, and historical background on a variety of subjects, encompassing politics as well. For you to rubbish her opinion this morning was very embarrassing, and she should protest against your awful behavior by ceasing calling into your program, not because Dr. Jew pitied you with the job at ZIZ after Wynne sacked you, yes, to defend him politically. Mean you should be subservient as a journalist. You must be fair, frank, and honest, and cease your political bias in St. Kitts. For in Nevis, you are a robust supporter of the NRP and hold an executive position in that party and despise the CCM. So what are you trying to prove? I want to entreat you to be to humble yourself and make a public apology to Miss Henry. Reads that email. I want to go back to the lines. Caller, I thank you for holding. You are live, and a happy new year to you, my dear brother.
Okay.
That sounds
Good evening, Doctor. Good evening, Patches.
How are you, my brother? How are you?
I am great, man. I'm great. This is Culture.
Somebody told me you were missing today.
Yes.
I said, Culture can't be missing. I know my sister would take care of Culture.
Let me greet all the listeners by telling them all the best for the new year. Patches, you know the reason why I was missing in hearing? Because of this nonsense what Flow telephone company is doing to St. Kitts. They come on and they change up this and change up that. And so therefore, as soon as any glitch in our electrical power, your landline dead. And that ain't supposed to be. You pay your landline rent once per month. And if you don't pay, then they put down the scissors on you. But then your cell phone, when your money run out, it embarrasses you in a conversation. And when your phone got to cut out because of the nonsense what they do, come change up this and change up that. It is embarrassing. And I want to know which administration sell out the share with the telephone company that they got to move the base, the home base of it, out of St. Kitts. And where they got it, they know where they got it. Now, if something happens and you have to call 911 and your money run out on your phone, then you can't go to your house phone if current gone. So therefore you got to go, they go run per foot, go call 911 and tell them that something happened up the road up there. And that is foolishness. Anyway, let me go back to the House of Law now. That last parliament, what they had here, what this administration had, it is a disgrace to the world. It is more disgrace than what's going on up there between Palestine and Israel and Ukraine and Russia. You're going to tell me, the Bible said, let everything be done decently and in order. Decently means the correct way, with respect, and order means take your turn in the line. In the House of Parliament, every member of Parliament has the right to stand up and make the presentation. If someone feels then that there is a need to say a point of order, then they do so. But you have this ignorant, stupid man who say he will do anything he leader tell him do. And he really doing it, that is Congress. Mr. Point of Order Congress. Every time Dr. Harris get up to speak, make his speak, he getting up just purposely just to disturb the man. And he has no point of order most of the times. Because when he say, on a point of order, Dr. Harris come back and he show them what Congress get up on a point of order is trash. And that is rubbish from Congress. and also the bias speaker. She gonna let Congress talk for about 20 minutes. A point of order to disturb Dr. Harris that the listeners cannot hear the truth. And she was supposed to give back Dr. Harris the time that he lose when Mr. Point of Order Congress get up and disturb the man. And also Miss Point of Order, Miss Clark. And she biasness did not give up Dr. Harris. And up to when Dr. Harris asked for extended time, they refused. Those cross the water, they went out. They went to all your clock because they don't want to hear Dr. Harris. And then these set up bunch of, what they call them, they cabal. Not one of them, they had the decency and respect for a cabinet, a parliament colleague of them to say, well, okay, yes, I vote for him to get his time. They had that plan. They do not want to hear the truth. And then the Dr. Harris, the man, when he comes up, he come up with the truth. Come up with the truth. And if them there could break law in the House of Lords, what they expect to come from non-parliamentarian on the street? For the week, in a matter of 5 days, we done had 2 patow-pow. One did not get his skin bust, and the one today get his skin bust. Because what? What do they expect? Because the good book say, if the righteous scarcely be saved, we shall lay ungodly appear. Well, if those who make laws and supposed to carry out the laws, if them they disrespect the law and break the law in the House of Laws, what they expect from the common man in the street? Anyway, Patches, the time that is open to us, it is very short, so I'm going to give somebody else a time to get in because it's a lot of licks me got for 2024. Culture is good and strong and my mouth stronger for the year. I can't go missing in action, not me. Because I'm coward and I'm afraid to talk. I ain't going to change my name. I'm afraid to talk, not me. I am radical culture all the time. Straight talk, Nabo and everybody, and Mr. Slidewine, Alice and Maisie, all are you good night. Have a good night, Patrick. Thank you so long.
Have a good night as well, my dear brother. I'm going back straight to the other line. Caller, you're live. It's 1 minute to 10 o'clock, but I'll give you some time. Are you there? Happy New Year.
Good night.
Happy New Year to you, my dear. Happy New Year to you, my dear.
Happy New Year to you. And you know, today start my birthday.
Today is your birthday.
Start my birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
It's a history.
Okay.
It's a history
Okay.
because I born on the 8th.
Okay.
And I've been celebrating my birthday all the time on the 8th till when I'm ready to go to junior high school.
Okay, my
I
dear.
I had to get the birth paper to prove it.
Okay.
And found out that they have me down for the 9th.
Oh, my.
But you see, my daddy is who carry my birth paper.
Uh-huh.
And I born on the Saturday, you know. The government place open on the Sunday.
Okay.
So the Monday when he carry it in, they must be asking when I born, and he say yesterday. So if he say yesterday, that means he's the 9th yet, so they put me down for the 9th.
Okay.
I always celebrate it on the 8th and the 9th.
Well,
and I know yours is coming up soon. What
yes,
date it is again?
mine is the 24th, Godspeed, 24th. I'm
okay.
Aquarius.
Okay, who is the 19th?
Okay, my dear.
She said to tell you good night.
Good night, Ru. Good night, Ru. I trust you're doing well.
Good night.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Anyway, so I hope the new year bring you all the best and enjoy it.
I wish you the same, my dear, and enjoy your birthday. I wish you many, many more to come as well.
I will.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks a lot for your intervention. And the lines are open, my Straight Dog family. Now, my US lines seem to have acted up earlier, but it is now functioning. I don't know what was the problem, but it is functioning. Those of you overseas. Yes. Good evening, Mr. Liebert reads this email. I am hoping that this new year will go the way we all want it to be. Labour, it says, out, Mr. Liebert, I hope the Social Security Minister and his board will get around to the monies owed by Mark Brantley and the NIA for rent and contributions. Mr. Liebert, it is millions he owes that fund. Keep on educating and informing the Federation. Much respect, reads this email. Let's go back to the lines caller. Thank you for holding your live. Happy New Year to you.
Mr. Straight Talk.
How are you?
Hello, Mr. Straight Talk.
How are you, my dear brother, Vincent?
Oh, it's a blessing to have you, my brother from another mother. How is you, man?
I am peaceful, my brother. Thanking God for
I tell you, it's amazing, it's amazing, it's amazing. I went out today on the street, and I just want to say, brother culture, we are good, we are standing strong. You know? And it's so good to hear you, my brother, for the first time. I called you to tell you to call me, but I guess you didn't get that. Anyway, so those things, they look like it's water buckets they have. Those are the covers underground.
Yes, the covers, yes. Yes.
But them, you know, Mr. Straight Talk, you really are doing a good job now. Because I was doing something and I hear you say, look, these water buckets. But those are buckets.
Yes, they look.
They're not water tanks. Look, I buy me a tank, a water tank, and the thing cover all over. So those are, I never seen these things before. Where they have those things?
Someone tell me when they fill it with water, there's swag. You know, swag one.
I've never seen. You know, you're talking and you're saying, well, look, these things happen. The end. He said they're gonna build housing and this and this and that. So me just wait. Mr. Twitter, show me, let me see if they still have them underground. But there you go, you show two of them. One is like in a garage and one lean up to a house.
Up to a house, right. we bring you the
My
fact.
rabbit. Mr. Twitter, you're doing a wonderful job now, so just continue doing what you're doing. I just want to say Happy New Year to you. Mr. Cotton Ground, how are you, man? It's a blessing to hear from you soon and very soon. And Queen of Texas Queen, we love you. And St. Louis, me and my brother, we coming, man.
Yes.
We coming.
Yes, man.
See you when I see you, Mr. Partisan, my brother. Be good. We gonna catch up.
Yes, see you when I see you, my dear brother, from another mother. Always good to hear from you, my Straight Talk family. It's 10:04. I'm gonna give you a few minutes to extend your greetings or make your points based on the thesis tonight or any other matter that was raised. But my Straight Talk family, there's no hope for us when we look at what transpired in 2023. What to expect when we have a government that is corrupt to the core. We have a government that has told us about its new face. Imagine the new face that's been presented around the world to quote unquote reconnect. Imagine that. Our new face to reconnect around the world, traveling all over the world, as he said, to reconnect. And imagine that face being used. Would you guess which face is being used to reconnect St. Kitts and Nevis, my Straight Dog family? How would anyone believe this, my Straight Dog family? How could or should we believe this, my Straight Dog family? The new face of Labour, the new face representing the country. This is the new face, my Straight Dog family. Do you believe this?
Our main promotion hub The St. Kitts Investment Promotion Agency has used up considerable efforts and money to consolidate the promotion work that I have been doing as a minister across the globe. There's no area of the globe I have not touched over the last few months. Because I am determined that the world must know that St. Kitts and Nevis has a new face, using the face of Douglas to reconnect with those who we have not seen for the last 7-8 years.
Imagine that, my Straight Talk family. Reconnecting with the face of Douglas. Do you believe that? Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, my brother.
That's it.
Yes, my dear brother. Happy New Year to you. And
well, Happy New Year to you.
Sounds like
how was your New Year?
Things have been good so far. God's been good to me, you know.
God been good to me for the past from January morning until now.
Mm-hmm. Happy to hear.
And I want to say something to hear right now and then. I think people don't really understand that if God build this country and God will the whole world now. I want to make one thing straight here. The Bible said judgment must begin to the house of God. The beginning house of God. And when the word of God started, if the righteous could scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner shall appear? You know what I mean? The man who are praying every day and talking to God either in your heart or out of your mouth, we have to be careful. Because I mean, make no difference about this thing, you know. When you see what is taking place in the world, Jesus is coming, Mr. Patrick. Jesus is come. The rapture is placing, is here. And when people are doing as they like, crucify the brother, bringing down the brother, doing out to the brother, one of these days they had to get account to it. Mr. Patrick, I am not going no further than there. So you have a pleasant night to hear us, eh? Bye.
Have yourself a pleasant night and a healthy new year, my brother. It's our 10 after 10. I'll take a few more calls before we wrap tonight's program. Caller, you're live. Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, Mr. Libert. Yeah, happy New Year to Mr. Libert, man. Happy New Year, man.
Yes, I wish you a healthy one.
You know, it's one specific reason why I got me to call in was when you say you're Aquarius. You should know what that means.
So you're Aquarian too?
Yes, very much, man.
Oh, so that's why we are humanitarians. That's why you're so assertive and you talk your mind.
Definitely, man. I feel you on that one.
Yes.
Yeah, February 12th, man. I'll be 55. You know, wow. For those who are concerned. But anyway, man, I have a problem, man. There is one thing that I can't get to. You know, I made some resolutions that I tried to cut off some things in the old year, but one thing I couldn't get cut off is the corruption in the federation. You know, it's so long that it has now stretched over into 2024. I can't get to cut it off with the scissors. It's stretching like a rubber band over into 2024. I might need some help to get it cut off or to get it minimized this year.
Well, you find some help right here. Trust me.
Hey, thanks a lot, man.
Yes.
Thanks for helping out the fellow Aquarian.
Yes. Anytime, my brother. Anytime, my brother. Okay, so okay.
But anyway, man, I guess some of your callers might want you to state if there is any one thing that the government did that you like in 2023, and if there's an area that you want to see improve in this year.
Okay.
And and for me personally, the three things that I want to see improve or change in the new year: I want to get the corruption minimized. Another thing is the Bryant clause. I want the parliamentarians to take another look at that Bryant clause. And thirdly, the crime situation. Those are the three areas I'm looking to comment on a lot this year. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And and I want the government to also put some more effort into agriculture as well. But I'm gonna keep agriculture a little bit low tonight.
Okay.
All right. So that's my little contribution tonight, and I want to say hail up to the man culture. That's another reason why I called him. I heard him say Mr. Slide Wine tonight. But I just wanted to call back in and say Happy New Year to him, and the rest of the callers. Mr. Welcome up there in New York. Wake up, brother, man. It's a new year, bro. I hope you ain't still sleeping. I hope you ain't still in the old year, man. Come on, wake up, bro. We're in 2024. Okay. I can't hear you, man.
Okay, my brother.
You can't be a leader and the people are not hearing you, man.
Okay, my brother.
You gotta lead, brother, man.
Yes.
Harris is waiting on you to join his team.
Okay, my brother. Thanks a lot.
All right, man. But this time is running small, man. So you guys have a good night, and Happy New Year again to everybody, man. And best wishes for St. Kitts and Nevis going into, in this year. Best wishes to the Federation this year.
Thanks
All right, thanks a lot, man.
Thanks a lot, my brother, as well. We go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live.
Greetings.
Greetings, my brother.
Blessed love and honor and joy and peace with the power of the I-5 Marshal Kingman, the Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie the First, and my Highness is there, Asava. How you do greetings and love go out indeed. It's January month, you said 2024 season greeting. Me not send a new year because season greeting you go with. That the season and we know how the climate can contain in this area or the universe. So we don't come with religious aspect, we come with spiritual love. So we don't come to you to indicate no kind of control and no part of humanity. For love and honor. Now, looking at your discussion based on your term, you're seeing some of the elements that are phrasing to say of governance is not priority bringing to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis as stated. We would like to say, as the last caller said, he like to see of this year coming on that corruption be minimized, but I say we eradicate right out the phrases of our people. If we serious about the changes that we want to see our young ones them going forward. From the next step, we're looking forward to any hands. And this is my view, not no one else's view, because I see that this time now really open the status of how we should live with people and rise with people. You see? And if we really looking to change the magnitude of these violent acts that we're seeing coming along our young peers, we really need to take a drastic approach to these agreements we have with these international cooks that we call as partners and agencies. So, give thanks. May the guidance of the Almighty bless everyone humbly and peaceful, because we are coming in our Ethiopian tradition that is in 2016, just celebrating on the 7th of January yesterday as the Ethiopian Christmas. Happy Gena to all our Ethiopian brothers and sisters, wherever we be in this year's celebration. Give thanks for the party. Bless you, love.
Give thanks, Ras Ayo. And my Show Dog family, you may have joined me late. And as we, so to speak, wind down, we reflected in a thesis, we reflected on the New Year's message or lack thereof, my Straight Dog family. But I'll go to the lines and come back to that shortly. Call you live. Hello, caller.
Yes, Patrice, I'm back.
Yes, sir.
Now, Patrice, I'm going to tell you something. I am very, very observant. When somebody fool me as soon as I wake up in the morning, if they tell me, well, okay, they're going to give me ham and egg for breakfast, and when I sit down with the table and I raise up the plate, it's more grass in the plate. You think they could fool me lunchtime? Never mind supper time? And that is what the man from Monkey Hill do. From the time he get in there, he come in with pure lies. And I don't realize all your clock. That man is one of the biggest liars. He's a lie. That as bad as Dr. Douglas be with lie, he make Dr. Douglas look like the Pope. I ain't gonna stop saying how he lie. He make Dr. Douglas look like a preacher and a Christian. No, you know why? And again, you know the reason why they can't live up to their promise when they say they're gonna build 2 smart houses. Somewhere up there by June. Up to now they can't do it. You know the reason why? Because the sugar industry is dead. And there is no more cane to provide, no more cane trash to make no trash house. That is the reason why they can't build a house. Because they have no plan. No nothing. He just walking off his head. And the foolish advice what he getting from them around him. Them around him, a lot of them is what you call fence jumpers. And some of them you will be surprised, you know, who don't fall down over the fence. You can't believe when you hear who doing it. Look at one of them from Newtown. When Washington Archibald was up his school, every Friday he used to have fry Johnny cake and fry fish, raising fund for a student who needed to go Barbados for medical treatment. And one of them snake who jumped over the fence from Newtown. He went up there to try to create a fight with Dr. Douglas. And the Dr. Douglas guard had to get between them. How he hate labor, so he was a big PAM supporter in the East. And now look where he be. Look where he be right up behind the leader. Like some of them cars through what you see in the street. Bottom out and a string between.
Okay, man.
Hypocrite and crook. All of them there. Money.
Okay.
Aliens.
Okay.
And that one in Nevis is a snake.
Okay.
We ain't forget when he used to abuse Patrice Nisbet and said Patrice Nisbet gone down sink it in bed with Douglas then before he represent Nevis. He in bed. Where he be now? He ain't only in bed, he in the mattress, the grass in the mattress with the labor them, and he don't trust so much of word upon them. So what he talking about? Eh? Opportunity, let he go pay up the people them what he owe from Social Security. Let he pay them up there. When he come in and abuse you and Dr. House and all connecting. Okay. Real snake. He's supposed to be the leader of the opposition. He may as well take off the hat and just walk around the floor and say, well, he over here officially, because he don't know over there. Thank God for Harris and Sean. The two of you stand still. Stand still. Me and all of us who does Colin and Patricia, we are behind both of you. We have to get the ship right up on the watermark before he sink down and run on a reef. Patrice, have a good night. Again, Happy New Year to everybody. Good night, Mr. I got some calypso with them, you know. All the wrong they do in this country. I got about 5 calypsos with them. But I'm just waiting to get by a good keyboard player. Me don't want no boom, 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 nothing. And then you're going to hear them, you're going to play them on the radio. Have a good night, Patrice. Thank you very much.
Have a good night, my dear brother. And perhaps that's the way we gonna end it tonight, my Straight Dog family, as our theme, our title for our thesis tonight is a bungling attempt to deliver a message without hope, my Straight Dog family. And the start of the new year, or any new year, I should say, must serve as a symbol of new beginnings and hope for the future. I reference a famous quotation which states that a leader is a dealer in hope. And that quotation was interpreted by many to mean that the leader's role should be to inspire and motivate others to believe that the future will be better. Leaders are responsible for providing a vision and direction that would stimulate optimism and confidence in the people that they lead. But when we listen to the message that came from our leader, there was not one strategy that was outlined to deal with our failing economy, the housing crisis, corruption, public safety or crime, inflation, and the rising cost of living. The Prime Minister provided no hope whatsoever to the businesses. When we look back at 2023, it gives us no hope. And at the start of 2024, there's no success to celebrate. There is not a single moment of success that Dr. Drew can point to in 2023. And heard that caller who wanted to improve or remove the brand clause, want to eradicate corruption and to ensure that agriculture takes the place whereby we can, these are my words, be self-sufficient in that area. And of course, crime. My Straight Dog family, when we reflect on where we came from and where we are going to, we can predict that under this Drew administration, the economy will get worse. The world is on fire, as someone or some renowned economists predicted. The Israel war against Hamas in Gaza. When you look at the slaughter of human beings, the ripple effects of the Russian war in Ukraine continue to change the world. For almost 2 years, that war is ongoing in Ukraine and continues to ignite a geopolitical realignment and has created much economic hardship far from the epicenter of this fighting. Food prices have gone to record highs. Energy prices have soared all over the world. Global supply chains still experience serious disruptions, my Straight Dog family. But what we are doing here as a country there's cause for great concern. Inflation, the consumer price indices, and my Straight Dog family, to the average man, Drew has failed to cut the cost of living. reduce the high cost of rent by providing housing for people who are houseless. What people are seeing at the grocery stores or the supermarkets is testimony to the state of the economy in St. Kitts Nevis. People are crying out. And we all are pondering and wondering what 2024 would be like under this new administration. Under a leader who lacks competence, knowledge, lacks statesmanship, and straight dog family. But it is the pervasive corruption that has been identified as one of the greatest problems within this Jew administration. No matter what they say, it is rife with corruption. My straight dog family, as we go forward with all the legislation that is being passed, it is the worst and most corrupt administration we have seen in just 17 months of this Jew Labour Party government. And one of the greatest disappointments in the eyes of many persons here in St. Kitts Nevis is the current Attorney General and Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs, Garth Lucien Wilkin, who, according to High Court Justice Tamara Gill, he committed a criminal offense. My straight dog family, he lacks integrity. In other jurisdictions, he would have had to do the honorable thing and resign from public office. A straight dog family. But as we wind down tonight's programming, my straight dog family, we hope for the best. We wish all a healthy and happy New Year. Our water is getting less and less. Good governance and transparency under this new administration is like a big joke. All they do is play acting and spinning top in mud. Yes, nothing but spinning top in the mud of corruption. I'll take this call, and a caller, I'll give you 30 seconds. Can you use it?
Yes, a pleasant good evening to you, and I must say Happy New Year to you and all the PLP, especially my Prime Minister. See you on Thursday, God stay alive.
Yes, I'm happy I took this call. I'm glad to hear you, and a happy birthday as well. I must have anticipated this, but thanks a lot, and see you on Thursday, God spare.
On Thursday, God stay alive. Yes. Tell KM people and stop ball, give a ball for they get the government what they deserve.
Yes, yes. Thanks a lot, my straight dog family. And finally, how can we restore trust and integrity in a country that uses this face, my straight dog family? This is what baffles me most going into 2024.
Our main promotion hub, the St. Kitts Investment Promotion Agency, has used up considerable efforts and money to consolidate the promotion work that I have been doing as a minister across the globe. There's no area of the globe I have not touched over the last few months, because I am determined that the world must know that St. Kitts and Nevis has a new face, using the face of Douglas to reconnect with those who we have not seen for the last 7-8 years.
Wow. But my straight dog family, the Jew administration continues to disappoint. Public safety continues to be of great concern to every citizen, and residents in St. Kitts and Nevis. Murder, she wrote, is what's on everyone's mind. People are running scared daily. Just today and a few days ago, shooting in Connery, shooting in McKnight. But I presented a simple and clear thesis that there is an institutional void in St. Kitts and Nevis that must be filled by a new player or new players, my Straight Talk family. Our health care system is in decay, my Straight Talk family. So I conclude, and truth be asked, why was there a bungling attempt to deliver a message without hope? Why they continue to peddle lies? My Straight Dog family, there's no hope for us as a country and as a people with this administration if we are going to live in peace, love, and harmony. That's my story tonight, and I'm not going to change it. I must thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight, as always. I thank all of you who called. There are those who sent emails. And there are thousands of you thankful for you who listened on our social media platforms, YouTube and Facebook. Remember, all of you are the ones who make Straight Talk. And for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. So until we connect on Thursday for another edition of Straight Talk, be good to yourselves and to all whom you meet. And remember that whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, my people, you must believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Thursday for our next edition of Straight Talk for 2024. Keep moving on.
In the morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food and loving care, and for my mother's breath of life that's got me here. So whatever my mind conceives that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good.